Grace Ogot, the Green Who Can, leaves. Grace Ogot was a very important writer from East Africa, specifically Kenya. She was one of the first people to write stories and books that showed what life and culture were like in East Africa after it became independent from colonial rule. Before Grace Ogot and others like her started writing, most stories from Africa were by writers from other parts of Africa, not East Africa. East Africa had a lot of its own stories, but they were usually passed down by speaking them out loud rather than writing them down. Grace Ogot was born in Kenya in a family that followed the Christian religion. She loved to listen to traditional stories from her grandmother and Bible stories from her father. She married Bithwel Ogot, a historian, who helped her learn more about the history and traditions of her people, the Luo. Grace Ogot did many different jobs in her life, including being a nurse, journalist, teacher, and even a government minister, but she is best known as a writer. She was the first woman from East Africa to have her writing published. She wrote stories in English and Luo about the lives of the Luo people, including their traditions, beliefs, and the challenges they faced, especially when it came to adapting to changes brought by colonial rule and modern life. In her stories, Grace Ogot often wrote about women as being strong but having to live within the rules of a society controlled by men. She believed that families should be strong and that even though men were in charge, women could still have their own space and be independent within it. Some people didn't agree with her views because they thought she was too accepting of a society where men were always in charge. But her characters usually found ways to be happy and influential within their families. Let's outline the main characters from The Green Leaves in simple terms. 1. Nyagar, a wealthy man from the Luo tribe who, despite having enough resources, succumbs to greed and decides to steal from what he thinks is a dead thief, leading to his unexpected death. 2. The thief, initially believed to be dead, the thief is involved in a cattle-stealing attempt and ends up playing a crucial role in the story's twist by killing Nyagar when he tries to rob him. 3. Nyamunde, Nyagar's wife, who deeply mourns her husband's death. Her lamentation highlights her love for Nyagar and the deep loneliness and despair she feels after his death. 4. The white police officer, represents the law and is an outsider to the village. He is puzzled by the events surrounding the deaths and the cultural practices of the Luo people. 5. The headman, a symbol of unity and leadership in the village, who becomes a suspect in Nyagar's death, showing how suspicion can fall on anyone regardless of their status. 6. The elders, they are respected figures in the village, offering wisdom and warnings based on experience, which Nyagar fails to heed, leading to his downfall. 7. The villagers, they represent the broader community affected by Nyagar's actions and the ensuing chaos, showing how individual actions can impact a community. Each character contributes to the story's exploration of themes like greed, community, the consequences of actions, and the complexities of human relationships and societal norms. Let's see the story. The Green Leaves is a story about a man named Nyagar from a Luo village who makes a decision driven by greed, leading to unexpected and tragic consequences. Here's the story simplified. One night, Nyagar decides to steal money from a thief's body found by his village. The thief was assumed dead after trying to steal cattle and being caught by the villagers. Nyagar thinks he can easily take money from the thief's body without anyone knowing. However, when he tries to do this, he discovers the thief is actually alive. The thief attacks Nyagar, leading to Nyagar's death. The surprising twist comes when the villagers and a white police officer find Nyagar's body covered with green leaves instead of the thief's. This switch is confusing and shocking to everyone. The green leaves, which are usually a symbol of life and new beginnings, become a symbol of death, betrayal, and the breakdown of trust within the village. The story ends with the fear that the investigation into Nyagar's death will cause more problems, leading to accusations and mistrust among the villagers. Nyagar's death is seen as a result of his greed. Despite having a prosperous life with 3 wives, 12 children, and plenty of cattle and food, he still wanted more. This greed leads him to make a fatal mistake. The story also gives us a glimpse into the Luo society's family and social life, where polygamy is common, and men are expected to protect their families and village. Elders are respected for their wisdom, but Nyagar ignores common sense and superstitions, leading to his demise. Nyagar's wife, Nyamunde, mourns his death deeply, showing the importance of family and relationships in their society. Her lament reflects her loneliness and the realization that the sympathy from others will soon fade, leaving her to face a bleak future without her husband. Through The Green Leaves, we see how greed can lead to unforeseen tragedies, affecting not just the individual but the entire community, disrupting the social fabric and harmony of life. Conclusion. The Green Leaves, by Grace Ogot, is a story that teaches us about the dangers of greed and the complex nature of human societies. Nyagar, a man who already has enough wealth, is led to his tragic end because he wants more than he needs. This greed not only costs him his life but also spreads sadness and distrust among his family and the whole village. The story shows us how one person's actions can have a big impact, bringing trouble and breaking the unity that once held a community together. Moreover, the story highlights the clash between traditional beliefs and the laws enforced by outsiders, like the white police officer. This clash and the resulting confusion show how different understandings and values can lead to bigger problems within a community. In the end, The Green Leaves makes us think about the importance of being satisfied with what we have and the need for harmony within our communities. It reminds us that greed and misunderstanding can destroy the fabric of society, leaving behind a trail of sorrow and mistrust.